What if I told you alien creatures used to live on Earth and you can visit the very spot where they died? So we did.
Let's go.
This alien planet was our Cambrian world, a period about 500 million years ago.
To journey to the Cambrian, we trekked deep into Canada's Yoho National Park, up the high mountain ridges to find the Burgess Shale.
This spot is so special you can't even visit here without a guide or a permit.
That's because it's one of the world's most important fossil sites, from a time when life on Earth got very weird very fast.
Wait, isn't life kind of weird now?
Fair, but these creatures kicked off the weirdness that shaped life as we know it today.
For billions of years after the birth of our planet, Earth's life was boring. Single-celled organisms ruled, and then when multicellular life came on the scene about 1.6 billion years ago, it really wasn't much better. It was all algae and sponges and squishy worm-like creatures. No shells, no spines, no eyes, just blobs.
No shells, no spines, no service. Until, bam, the Cambrian Explosion happened.
Boom! About 543 million years ago, life took a dramatic turn. In a geological blink, just tens of millions of years, Earth went from oceans of slime to seas full of these wild, complex creatures. Think 5 eyes and grasping claws and armor and mouths for eating. All the major animal body plans emerged during this time. That is widely considered the most important evolutionary event in the history of our planet so far.
The Burgess Shale holds clues to how this all happened, making it one of the most important paleontological discovery sites ever. Today we are at the Burgess Shale, which is a very, very old area where you can find Cambrian fossils like Anomalocaris, or Canadiosis, or trilobites. There was an underwater mudslide. All these creatures got stuck underneath it. And then now we dig them up and we find them. And it's super cool. I love it. Also, there's a lot of snow in the middle of, like, July.
But traveling to the Cambrian is not without danger.
Mom fell off a mountain on our hike.
It's a true story. Seriously, real adventures are full of danger, but danger can actually help us explain this explosion of life back in the Cambrian.
I think the danger was with poor balance.
Moving on. While we managed to survive the Canadian wilderness, humans would not have survived that well in the Cambrian. You see, our world looked totally different from the beautiful landscape you see around the Burgess area today.
Before the Cambrian, Earth was even less hospitable, a frozen snowball Earth.
It was totally frozen. When all that ice melted, oxygen levels went up, fueling energy-hungry innovations like muscles and skeletons and brains. And with oxygen to grow larger and stronger, animals got more active and more dangerous.
So the Cambrian was basically a monster planet?
Yeah, pretty much. And full of danger in an entirely new way. You see, the land was an awful, barren mudscape. There was nothing living there. Plants hadn't even evolved yet. So it was the oceans that were full of these strange new creatures with all sorts of new features, including the first predators. Because, you know, as they say, one creature's hellscape is another's evolutionary jackpot.
No one says that, Mom.
Well, you know what? We should. We should start saying that.
Let's introduce you to two of these alien monsters we met at the rocks at Burgess Shale site. A couple of creatures who were totally at home in this wacky ocean world for millions of years.
First up, meet Opabinia. Discovered by Corey founder Charles Walcott in 1912, it had 5 eyes, claw-tipped proboscis to kind of grab worms from the seafloor, and then feed its backwards-facing mouth. I can't even do it.
Backwards mouth? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Only a few have ever been found, and almost all of them have been found right here at the Burgess Shale quarry site. That's because soft-bodied animals like Opabinia rarely fossilize, but the conditions here preserved them beautifully.
Gorgeous Opabinia.
Gorgeous Opabinia! Looking good, Opabinia!
A particular feature of the Burgess Shale is that the fossils here are composed mostly entirely of these super rare soft-bodied animals. And that's why this location provides the best records for Cambrian animal fossils pretty much anywhere in the world.
Totally worth the 11-mile round-trip hike up a mountain in the summer heat. Honestly, it's a spectacularly beautiful site. And in addition to its just great scientific importance, I would hike this again any day.
You scarred me for life, nearly falling off the mountain.
Okay, I guess we're not hiking it again anytime soon. Anyway, the weirdness of Opabinia was nothing compared to the largest and greatest Burgess Shale predator. Let's give it up for Anomalocaris.
The OG super predator!
Totes. Perhaps the first apex predator. It had large eyes, a circular tooth-lined mouth, spiked claws for grabbing prey. At even just a few feet long, it dominated.
Anomalocaris perfectly represents the evolutionary arms race of the Cambrian that fueled the diversity we see in fossils at the Burgess Shale today.
Now, in this world, predators were increasingly skilled with vision and propulsion and bigger brains, all those other developments sparked by the increase in oxygen. And in response, prey animals had to get better at defending themselves to survive these new dangers, leading to a diversification of body plans and behaviors and even more weirdness.
Take, for instance, the armored slug Wiwaxia.
Yeah, he said armored slug. Imagine that in your garden. Now, this herbivore was covered with scales and spines to protect itself from being eaten.
Or Hallucigenia, a creature so bizarre it took a long time for scientists to understand what it was, because you couldn't tell it's up from down or it's left from right, because it was just a worm with spikes on its back.
Because it basically was a worm with spikes. And those spines were there to keep it from being eaten while it munched away on some sponges.
Tasty sponge.
So good.
With more than 60,000 unique fossils found at the Burgess site, we could go on forever. But there's one last fossilized alien you need to meet.
You have to meet Pikaia, a little creature with a big legacy.
They're kind of our great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-
of the earliest relatives of vertebrates, like fish and birds and us.
But with more than 100,000 total fossils collected at this site, and piles more on the rocks for you to see on a visit, we still have a lot to learn about our alien ancestors.
Which is what keeps us out there adventuring to see all the wonders in this great big wide world. So subscribe so you don't miss any of the fun. He's very good on a car trip, I promise.
You got snacks? Audible? Music? I'll be fine.
Let's go.